By the way, is Jeff Heckler here? No, so you'll just have 3 minutes. Go ahead. Ms. Richter?
All right. So I'm Angela Richter, Executive Director of Save Barton Creek Association, for those that don't know me. SBCA is one of several environmental groups that have not come out for the code or against the code, but are really still waiting to see what the final proposal is. And we see several areas for improvement. You guys have all received a letter from us, as you know. I also want to thank the Regional Committee of the Sierra Club, their conservation group, Clean Water Action, and Environment Texas. All those groups have stood behind SBCA's positions on water quality, flooding, and water conservation, and you've heard their testimony. Generally, I'm not going to repeat all of the points because you've heard them, but generally what we've asked for is for redevelopments to adhere to impervious cover in their zoning so that they do their fair share to prevent flooding, for landscape and building guidelines that save water to prepare for our future of climate change and continued population growth, for requiring more developments to treat their runoff and use green stormwater infrastructure for water quality treatment. This would include, hopefully, new roadways in subdivisions. And these water quality improvements will ensure that we keep our creeks clean. So those are our general positions. There's also a few things that have come up lately with the Environmental Commission and Planning Commission recommendations. I would first urge you to take a close look at the Environmental Commission's recommendations, including the recommendation to lower the water quality limit to 5,000 square feet. I appreciate the work that the Planning Commission did on Draft 3. I think they have some good ideas, but I would like to point out a couple of places where we don't think that you should follow their direction. They recommended removing the engineer certificate for flood and drainage compliance for missing middle housing and ADUs. There needs to be some reliable way to ensure that neighbors aren't flooded, and it can't be reactionary, as in waiting for a flood to happen and the neighbor to complain. If there's not an engineer certificate and you guys find another way to do that, potentially even the city going out and looking at each of those, whatever you decide to do, but there needs to be a reliable way to do that. The Planning Commission also recommended giving 90% impervious cover as a development right, waiving other requirements. That's something that really can't be done unless there's clear prioritization of what requirements can be waived, and certain requirements that are public health issues like flooding are not included in any kind of waiver. Finally, we ask you to implement the Water Forward recommendations, our 100-year water plan, today. And as I said, you've heard from several nonprofits that support these proposals. We really hope to see a land development code that meets our environmental goals, along with all of the other important goals that you've heard from today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Richter. Next up is Micah King.